So hello guys, it's finally here. I'm very pleased to announce that in this episode of What's in the Box, we're going to finally get to take a look at the all-new, just released 1/35th scale Tamiya Panther Alps D. Let's take a look. And, well, here it is. It's kind of a unique, different box art, especially compared to the earlier Panther kits that they've done. So, this is going to be the fourth Panther release that Tamiya has offered in the last 25 years or so. This is an all-new tool kit. I will verify that for you as we get into the review. There is no carryover from any of their earlier Panther G kits. So, the original Panther kit, excuse me, I guess there's 5 actually, was a Panther A, which was released in the 70s. The date at the moment escapes me. Then there was an early Panther G, then there was a late Panther G, and then there was the steel wheel version that had an IR sighting arrangement available to model with it as an accessory. Well, not an accessory, comes with it. So that's the lineage, so to speak, of the Tamiya Panthers. This kit was announced back in the winter, and I've had it on pre-order forever, and it just arrived today. So, once again, you know, that traditional Tamiya box art style that I have grown to love. The box is surprisingly thin. There's a traditional tri-war, you know, Kurskish, as Adam would say, Kurskish. You know, tritonal scheme on the side, Dunkelgelb with red, brown, and olive green stripes. And let's see, another panel of that on the side of the box. This is kit number 35345 with, of course, the 2015 date on the box. Now, before I get into that, something else I want to share with you. I also took the liberty of ordering all the accessories. I want to discuss that briefly. So, what does the kit come with? What does the kit not come with? I just kind of want to clarify that and get that out of the way first. So, in this box, of course, is everything you need to build this model. It comes with the one-piece tracks, but they're polyethylene tracks, which means they are model cement friendly. It does not take CA glue. And by the way, guys, they look quite well. This kit also comes with a one-piece slide molded barrel. Bonus. So, you can build this kit straight from the box, and by the way, this kit is very affordable if you purchase it from Asia. You can imagine, of course, if you buy it in the US or Canada, the price that you pay for it, since it's a new Tamiya offering. Now, what else do they sell as an accessory? Photo etch grills. Now, they've done this in the past. This is not new, but this is specific to the D variant. It's unlike the photo etch they sell for the G, which will also work on their Jagdpanther series. So they sell this as an accessory. I think if you put these two together, if you put the grills with the kit, you can build a heck of a nice model just like that. Because I think that tanks look naked without the grills. Yes, I said naked. The next accessory available is the metal barrel and gun assembly set. So this builds the complete breech assembly with sighting equipment, including the coax machine gun and a beautiful turned aluminum barrel. And so this set, not a necessity, in my opinion, but it's just going to add that extra bit of detail. Last, and certainly not least, a set of individual track links that are workable. This is first for Tamiya. I took the liberty of looking at the instructions for this track set, and it says specifically, do not get glue here and here, because these are going to move. So you actually put the guide horns on in the place of that, and it makes these tracks movable. How much does all of this cost together? I have a feeling if you paid retail for it in the US or Canada, once it becomes available, because it's going to be months before it's available here, you're looking at $100 or more. And yes, that's a lot of money. But I bought this from an Asian eBay dealer, specifically from Japan, and it cost me $64, $65 total with shipping. All of it. And I think that's very competitive with all the goodies. So, just wanted to clarify that about what it comes with and what it doesn't. What I think work fine straight out of the box. If you just wanted to get one accessory, I'd go with the grills. But these others are cool, but probably superfluous. But I'm a Tamiya fanboy, as we all know. I don't hide it, so it is what it is. Enough of that. So, what do we have in the box? We had a ton of plastic. Here's the tracks, polycaps, instruction sheet. We're going to look at all that. Let me open these bags first, because I don't want to bore you with that, and then we'll get right into the review. Alright, so I thought the first thing that we'd look at was the instruction booklet. And it is a little longer than normal, but it is not the bifold, trifold typical Tamiya design. It is actually stapled, so it is a booklet style, and I certainly appreciate that from Tamiya. There's a really cool black and white photograph of the completed model on the front of this. Of course, calling tools you need to build the model, and the color callouts, which of course will be entirely in Tamiya, or Tamiya color, as SteveTheFish.net corrected me a couple of weeks ago. Steve, if you're watching, how's it going, bud? And page 1 shows you the accessories available for the kit, of which, of course, I have already talked about. The gun, the turn metal barrel, and the breech assembly, the photo etch grills, the separate track links. There's another set, which actually out of an old, there's an engine maintenance set, which apparently comes with a Maybach engine that can be added if you so choose. I have not bought it. I don't know. I guess if you were diorama minded and wanted to do that, that might be a cool set. So as you get right into step number 1, let me zoom in for you guys just a bit. So, step 1, you begin assembly of the running gear, which includes the exterior portion of the torsion bar suspension being attached to the lower hull. There is an escape hatch, which is molded as a separate piece. That's kind of interesting. Step 2 brings us right into road wheel construction, and the Panther D, of course, did have rubber tires on each road wheel. So that would, of course, need to be masked off. Step 3 has us attaching all of these road wheels, can be attached with polycaps. And that makes, of course, easier to remove or pop off the road wheels for painting. And here it's telling you to cut off pieces that's part of the differential housing. It's actually telling you to remove pieces off that housing. That's interesting, a little extra step. They don't do a lot of that. So step 4 continues attaching road wheels. You know, those of you guys who have followed my builds in the past, and I think a lot of us are like this with armor builds, that is done last. I don't put the wheels on to the very last because I think it's easier to paint and paint the rest of the vehicle and the lower hull without having the wheels attached. Now, here we go right into the assembly of the storage boxes, and you'll notice that's actually in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. There's a nice looking 4-piece jack here. And here we add the exhausts in this step, step 6, and right into the tracks. It does say that these tracks are, you can use regular model cement, which is nice. To do the sag, though, you'd have to use CA glue on the top of this. Or you'd have to put in pins or steel rod or brass rod to hold the track down. That's another way. Of course, then you would have to drill holes into the side of the hull to do that. And step 8, we have vision ports being added. And here we have engine cooling fans. So there's some nice detail there. Attaching fenders. The fenders are actually a separate piece on this kit. To me, it doesn't usually do that. That's pretty interesting. That's kind of cool. What else do we have here? Here we have some equipment, and of course, Tamiya doesn't do the separate photo etched clasp for the tools. These are going to all have clasps on them, so that makes of course, the assembly easier to be done. Here we begin adding the driver and bow operator or bow machine gun or secondary radio operators hatches here through steps 11. And then in step 12 we can continue with which barrel cleaning rod holder, the front fenders, some more of the little fiddly parts, the headlights, There's the gun travel lock. Step 13, we continue with more on-vehicle equipment attachment. 14, rear engine access hatch. 15 has you placing the upper and lower hull assemblies together. 16, you're attaching tow cables and spare tracks, and there are some really nice spare tracks. The turret assembly here begins in 17, so you have a one-piece bottom and then another top piece that goes down on top of that, so you're not going to have a seam around the sides, which is nice. I've cheated and taken a look at the model. And then, of course, we continue with step 18 on the turret build. You add the elevation part of the mantlets, the commander's cupola, polycaps that would, of course, make the gun elevate. Here you have the installation of the barrel in step 19. The muzzle brakes in 2 parts, so there would be a seam there to remove. Smoke dischargers get installed on step 20. And then the final step is 21, showing you putting the turret on the tank. And then, of course, it does come with 2 crew figures, which we will also be looking at. They do mention here as well the attaching the photo etch part for the grills that's sold as an accessory. So, and here it talks about the engine assembly, which can be installed if you so choose, if you buy that accessory set. And if someone is interested in getting that, let me know. So that's a brief look at the instructions. I went a little longer there than I wanted. Now, Tamiya has been doing this recently. They're adding these full color painting guides to their models, and it's really nice, thick, heavy, glossy paper. And I just love these. I think the BT7 had it. There's a lot of kits they've added. The new Nashorn had it. The Elephant had it. The new Jagdtiger had it. They're really pretty slick. And there are photographs of an actual vehicle taken from a museum. This looks like it may be in Belgium. And then all of the color call-outs. So they actually give you decals to model 3 different vehicles. And all of these, Adam, are Kursky. And all of them are, of course, in a tritonal pattern. None of this would be hard-edged. Guys, this would be very easy to paint. And there is a diagram of the vehicle with history in Japanese and English and French and German. So, very nice. I really appreciate the fact that they do that. So, that's a look at the instructions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the plastic, shall we? So, the first sprue we're going to take a look at, and this is in no certain order, contains the fenders and the side skirts, the turret bottom, the engine cooling fan housings, the exhaust, spare tool racks. There's a lot of stuff on here. And guys, the detail looks very good. And let me tell you right now that these tool clamps on these tools is a vast improvement over what they've had in the past. Let me see if I can zoom in so you can see this a little better, perhaps. Whoops, hard to line this up. You got to go backwards. So if you would check out the tool clamps on, there's the wire cutters, the shovel. That's loads better than what they've offered on kits in the past. Of course, this is a brand new kit. You would expect them to be raising the standards for that. Here's the equipment and spare tool brackets. Here we have parts for the gun and mantlet assembly. And there's that one-piece plastic barrel, no seam. And by the way, there's not any mold lines on this either. Detail from this side. There's your engine access, your engine cooling fan housings, exterior housings. There's the 2-piece muzzle brake. Looks very nice. The fenders look good as well. And I want to show you something. Now, I realize that it's hard to get styrene and scale in 1/35 for things like fenders and side skirts, but these are very thin. There are ejector pin marks on these fenders, guys, but, oops, there are ejector pin marks here, but after they're installed, you're not going to see that. That's not going to be a problem at all. But these side skirts, I just don't know if this is going to show up or not, but they're actually beveled. The reverse edge of these is beveled down so that if you're looking at it from an angle or from the side, they look to scale. There's the main drive housings, And here's something else they've never done. This is a huge bonus and a nice improvement. There's some really delicate casting texture on these main drive housings. That's really nicely done. So I think that's a good look at that sprue. What else do we have? Now, here we have ×2 the wheels, the running gear. Now, let me be honest with you. I had my doubts when I first opened the box earlier this afternoon about whether or not this was new plastic. And I grabbed 2 of my older Tamiya Panther kits just to make sure that this wheel sprue was not the same, was not a carryover from the mid-90s kits. And I can assure you it is new. It's completely new. It doesn't have a date on it. On some of the other sprues do, by the way. But it is completely new. The color's slightly different. The older Tamiya kits, it's a darker tan color on the plastic. This color is lighter. The bolt pattern is also different on this tank versus the old G model. And here's the spare track links. By the way, they would require no cleanup. There is no ejector pin marks on these, and the guide horns are separate to give you that extra level of detail. Check out the cooling fan housing. Of course, remember there's going to be 2 of these. The detail on this is quite good. Check out the bolts on the drive sprocket. And it actually has detail on the inside part of the drive sprocket, which would never be seen. It also has some really nice, effective bolt detail here. I'm not sure where they did it, but they did it nonetheless. That's very nice. The toe shackles, which go on the front, look good. Why am I having such a hard time here? These look really good. Those go on the front of the, hang off the front of the front glasses plate. There's your track replacement tool. There's your side skirt hangers. So there's 2 of these sprues, identical, of course, because it's the running gear. Now, let's take a look at the upper hull. So this, I think, is one of the important parts. So this makes up the D variant. And by the way, some of you, I may be taking it for granted if you know the differences in the Panther variants. And I understand that it's confusing, but the D is actually the first incarnation of the Panther, not the A. Don't ask me why they did it that way. Someone may know the answer to that. So the D was first. What was different about the D? The D did not have a bow machine gun. So they were trying to rush this thing into production for the Kursk offensive, Operation Citadel, and but they had a lot of teething problems with it in the beginning. There is not any rolled casting detail on this. The plastic is nice and smooth. There are delicate weld beads at all of these seams. But I don't know if the original Panther was rolled steel or not. You know what? I take that back. It's kind of hard to see. At first I thought it may be imperfections in the plastic. I don't know if this is going to show up on the camera. But there are little tiny puck marks along the hull, and that is intentional because it's identical on the other side. So those are rolled steel texture marks. That's kind of cool. And let's see. There's also some more of that texture included on the front plate, but it looks quite a bit different than what you'd see like on cast texture. If they were using rolled steel, that would probably be why. Of course, in 1943, they still had fairly high production standards. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is going to be the last complete sprue that we'll look at, and what we have, of course, is the rear plate, part of the stowage boxes that go on the side, your smoke dischargers, hatches, the front mantlet, and the figure. And this is for all the figure painters in the group, because I know there's quite a few of you guys. The detail, guys, on these Tamiya figures is impressive. If you can see the fabric texture on this thing, it's really nice. There's what, 5 pieces per figure. It comes with 2 figures. There's a commander that goes in the cupola, and there's a guy squatting behind the turret talking into the ear of the commander. So there's 2 nice figures. There's the barrel cleaning box, or barrel cleaning rod holder. Some really nice cast texture detail, these weird looking circles on the cast turret. But there's some really nice fine cast texture detail on this turret. There's also nice cast detail on these two hatches. This is going to be your bow machine gun operator slash, you know, secondary radio operator and driver's hatches. Engine access hatch, that's probably the escape hatch that goes on the back, and then parts for the cupola. So that's the last complete sprue. But we're not done taking a look at the plastic. What else do we have? So there's one item here I did not pull out of the bag. I apologize for that. And we have the turret. You'll notice there's not going to be a seam you have to worry about, just the back piece. So this sits down on top of that other piece, which then joins to the hull. And there's, of course, a 2015 date. There's been, by the way, a 2015 date stamp on all these sprues except for the running gear. So that's, you know, just kind of proof that if those of you who are concerned this might not be a new tool, it is indeed a new tool. And there's some really crisp detail on the top of this. I don't see any of that. Yeah, it does have some of that kind of little pockmarked, kind of weird roll steel texture to it. It's really different. And guys, it's really subtle. You have to kind of be looking at it in the light just right to see it. I'm impressed. It looks really nice. So that's the turret. The very last piece of styrene we're going to look at, I apologize, is still in a bag. And that would be the hull tub. That'd be your bottom hull. And 2015 Tamiya polystyrene. So quite a bit of detail here in the bottom with some access hatches, probably oil drain ports, that sort of thing. You know, water drain ports when they get engine in the water compartment when it rains, and some nice bolt detail. This is definitely different than the G hull because I compared that on the kits earlier today. And there's that 2015 date stamped right there on the inside. Nice looking crisp hull, and it has that weird same rolled pockmarked steel texture on the front. Or actually, that would be the bottom glasses plate. Nicely done, Tamiya. I like that. And what else are we going to take a look at? So, lots and lots of poly caps, and that's for all the crazy road wheels that come in this kit. There's a metal wire, some rope, which I know is used for tow cables. I'm not sure what the wire's for. That's a good question. I don't know what the wire's for. That's curious. And then we have a decal sheet, and that would, of course, model any of the three Kursky vehicles that would be available that are included with this kit. There's a ton of aftermarket decals, though, for D models if you wanted to go with something different. And then here's the tracks. Now, I wanted to show you the track. Guys, the tracks are really quite good. The detail on these is impressive. I'm going to zoom in just a bit. So, look at the detail on these. And by the way, these tracks are dated 2015 as well. They're not open guide horns, which the separate track links are. That's kind of a minor issue, but these look beautiful. I would have no problem using these if you just wanted to build this kit straight from the box. You'll notice the guide horns are not open, but there's nothing wrong with these tracks at all, guys. So that is a look at the 2015 Tamiya Panther D. It's a cool kit. I am really excited about this. I want to build this very soon, but I've got some other projects in the loop. I may try to get to this definitely sometime this fall or this winter. I want it to be my first Panther kit. I think it looks looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this review. There will, of course, be many more. As you know, I do a lot of reviews. I recommend the kit. If you buy it right, you're going to have to buy this from Asia, get a good deal on it, because if you try to buy it here in the U.S., it's going to be a ton of money. I got to be honest with you. So, guys, that's it for me. I'm out. Everybody take care, and I hope you have a good night. Take care.